Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to the very first episode of Kingdoms Reborn, which originally aired live on Twitch. So let's get started. Right off the bat, I am going to generate a brand new seed. Forest is above Walrus. What about Forest is above Yoda? Or Yoda is the king. Yoda is the king. Let's generate that. So we're going to go map size medium, seed level medium, everything medium. I'm not going to touch anything else. Oh, also, my project descriptions are totally wrong. So set up a new map. So one of the things I'm going to have you all vote on when we start the game here is going to prepare the world, and we have to pick a starting location, much like Civilization or a game like that. The Great Freeze left civilization in ruin. Few were strong enough to withstand the cold and plague that claimed the earth. Decades have passed since the frost took our lands, and our courage and hope have returned with the melting of the ice. It falls to us, we surviving few, to rebuild a flourishing civilization. I might not keep this map. It really depends on whether I like the seed or not. But yes, this is the entire globe. This should look something like Civ. There are 3 AI. There is Borghild, Hostane, and Rowan. And they have picked their spots first. JD, thanks for the gifted subs. And Cheese for even more bits. Glitch as well. And Shield for the gifted sub. So the important things to vote on. Yeah, I was mentioning this. So let me get this polling. We have to pick a starting biome. So the starting biome will determine some starting bonuses that you have, and they're biome specific. So there's forest, jungle, and I'll describe them as well. Boreal forest, or grassland. I'm not going to do jungle or tundra, or on desert or tundra because they're harder. So before you vote, here's the description. The forest gives you a starting bonus to farming. The jungle gives you a starting bonus to fruit or mushroom collection. Boreal forest down in the south give you a bonus to fishing, and grassland to ranching. There are other biomes as well. There is tundra, but tundra would be very, very difficult to start in. And then there is desert, which again would be very difficult to start on. So if you click on them, they'll say extreme difficulty or hard difficulty. Oh no, that's grassland. Very hard difficulty. So I've not included them, as it would not be a good way for you all to learn the game that way. Pertzel, thanks for the resub. And Zalek for the bits, and Shield for even more gifted subs. Welcome all. So pleased that you all could join me on this unexpected Saturday stream. So go ahead and vote. It's in the top left there of what kind of starting biome we want here. Whether it's forest, jungle, boreal, or grassland. And taking a look at the map itself, you can also see resources. So I'm going to describe to you the resources before I go any further. Much like if you're familiar with the Anno series, much like Anno or even Civilization, the people will demand that luxury goods are fulfilled in order for them to sort of develop culturally and technologically. So you have 3 tiers of resources, and the first tier is beer, cannabis, furniture, pottery, and tulips. Beer can be brewed through a whole bunch of different materials. So you can brew beer with wheat, you can brew beer with like fruits, you can brew beer with mushroom. So they can be fulfilled that way. Cannabis, as you can see the cannabis leaves here on the map, they can be fulfilled if you start a farm in these specific regions. Furniture is made through lumber, timber, cutting down trees. Pottery is when you live near a river and you collect clay from the river and you make pottery. And then tulips is very much like cannabis, but you can see some tulip plots. So I'm also going to have you all vote on what tier 1 resources should I focus on. Ideally, you're going to want to primarily focus for 3 of them. If you fulfill 3 of them, your culture will be able to tech up, and then you'll have tier 2 resources, which would be, and they're not gonna be important for a little bit, but I'll name them anyway. Clothes, which is, there's a variety of ways to get clothes, cotton or leather, that will fulfill it. Leather would be hunting. Wine, which would be from grapes. Candles, which is from beeswax. Beeswax you get if you have forests. Vodka from potatoes. Magic mushrooms, which are a type of seed that you can unlock and grow. Coffee and glassware. Glassware is sand mines near beaches or rivers, and then coffee is, of course, a commodity that you would have on the map tile. And then tier 3 is books. Tier 3 is a little bit more complicated. So like books, fashionable clothing, jewelry, chocolate, and pocket watches. So jewelry is linked to gold, books to paper, which is from wood, fashionable clothes, which would be dyes here, chocolate, which you could find in some of the jungle regions, and pocket watches is like a steel high engineering thing. So those are the sort of resources that you're looking to provide, and you have to provide enough of them so that everybody that lives in your little, initially hamlet and then eventually flourishing cities have their needs fulfilled. There's also one other basic need that everyone will need, which is heating, fuel. So depending on where you settle, you can see there is a variability to temperature. So if we pick somewhere in the middle, as you can see, it still gets cold. There is no like perpetual summers, and they will need to heat their homes with either coal or wood. And there's a lot of technology linked to that. So if you don't provide heating, nobody advances technology. So with no hearth comes no advanced homes. So it looks to me like you vote Boreal Forest, which is probably the hardest of those 4 choices, which is fine. And then tier 1 resources. So I'm going to have you all vote on the tier 1 resources that you want me to focus on. Now, some of these might not be exactly viable, depending on a start here. I can pretty reliably get beer, furniture, and probably pottery. Tulips and cannabis really depend on the tile itself. So if you take a look, for this specific map tile, there's probably not a lot of tulips or cannabis bordering Boreal Forest. And in this game, you expand by, much like Civilization, you expand by sort of adopting adjacent borders. So if you did vote tulips, I think there's some tulips kind of close to a Boreal Forest up here. But I could also re-roll the seed. I don't necessarily need to settle for this seed specifically. Here's some cannabis that's relatively close to Boreal Forest as well. So that would be doable, growing the cannabis here and starting with my home city, in a Boreal Forest. So go ahead and vote, and the poll's up that way. You can also tell where at least the other people are starting. So Borghild will be near coal, tulips, and coffee. I might change the map seed depending on the preference here. The preference here looks like cannabis, beer, and furniture. So given cannabis, beer, and furniture, actually starting here would not be terrible, but I will have to vie late game for territory with Borghild as a result of being somewhat close to Borghild. Not too close. This position gives me chocolate, wine, gold, coal, iron for steel, grapes. North, I would get dyes. So the issue here would be... No, I guess there wouldn't be coffee. But yeah, this would likely be my starting location. I won't re-roll, after all. So it looks like I'm going to be focusing on beer, cannabis, and furniture as my primary starting tier 1 resources. So I'll hide that. You can also see that each different territory costs a different amount of gold, right? So the larger it is, tends to be the more expensive it would be. So here we go, a boreal forest. I think this is my best shot going here. This puts me adjacent to a bunch of resources that can be useful to me. And a pet Yoda. Hi, buddy. Come here. Hi, buddy. Okay. So, confirm initial resources. I'm not going to change this at all. One thing to note, you're definitely going to want to start with some medicine and tools, because medicine and tools are things that you won't be able to source yourself early on. Stone for construction is not bad either. So we're going to confirm. Then we get to place... Everything is still paused. You get to place your town hall location. So one of the things to note about town hall locations, it is the hub. And another thing to note is you are likely to want to build a lot of houses around it. It really depends on how you want to lay out your town or whatever. But I am going to place it with... So instead of considering just my individual province, I'm considering all of the territory around me. So if I put my town hall here, I can build a lot of houses around it for adjacency bonuses. And this will make more sense later on when I have things like schools and taverns and libraries. All right, so I'm going to slap it down here. I could put it here, but it would destroy the stone that's there. And I want to keep that stone there so I can mine it. All right. So here we go. Rhadamant town. We have founded our beautiful little town. I'm going to call it Yoda Town. And right off the bat, we have some information to address. So right now, it is negative 15 degrees Celsius, but I'm not going to be immediately penalized for not providing heat to my people, because it's the start of the game. I have 1,586 gold left over after my territory purchase. I have 14 adults, 4 children. I have 18 that are homeless. I have storage space for 3 more things. So as you can see here, my storage yards, there's 3 spots empty for stuff. I start with 300 food. I start with 120 wood, 240 medicine, 180 tools, 120 stone. And then here is the luxury tiers that I was talking about. So beer, cannabis, and furniture is what we're going to focus on. Periodically, about every 150 seconds, you'll get a card. These cards determine what you can build, but then you can also build no matter what. You can build dirt roads, houses, storage yards, and eventually you get unlocked other things as well. So here's my first card, and taking a look at where I live, well, here's some interesting things to note. Generally speaking, boreal forest starts will have a bonus to fishing, but I don't border water, at least not yet. If I bought the adjacent province here, it's sort of on a river with a bit of a lake, which would have water. But I'm going to have the option of determining a starting bonus pretty soon. So I have to choose between these 5 choices. And if we take a look here at my choices, I have fishing, immigration, fruit, forestry, and hunting. If I look closely, you can see I have some deer in my territory. So hunting would be a viable method to feed myself. And there are some fruit trees. There's some orange trees up north in the warmer part of this biome. That would be also pretty somewhat viable to do as well. If I take a look here, there's the Guapi Sigle tribe, which inhabits the cannabis region. So if I spread to them, I would likely have them join me. And then there is some ancient shrines. There's another tribe up here, Sudbee tribe. There are some resource crates here in the west coast. I'm just trying to analyze the, the expansion potentials. Then if I take a look at south, there's coal. So these mountains have coal in them, which is a very efficient way to heat your homes. Much, much, much better than heating with wood and coal burners. This area here is just basically boring tundra, but luckily it is not very expensive. And yes, I can filter the view here for overlays, and I'll show you that in a bit. You can also see the provinces and their resources and benefits, and what income they would provide, what resources they have. You can hide the bushes and trees. You can see, what animals you have, which is now highlighted in blue. They do move around. Appeal. So people want to live somewhere appealing, and at high luxury tiers, they will demand appealing. We also have fertility. So as you can imagine, where it is snowy, there is not a lot of fertility. So if I want beer, I'm going to have to be very clever about where I grow wheat or fruit or whatever for the beer. But it really depends on where I expand, because if I expand here in the cannabis region, there are some farming potential. Basically, the greener the better. So if we zoom out, you can kind of see this area is good for growing, where it has grapes and cannabis. Anywhere south is pretty bad because it just gets colder and colder and colder. Okay. Yeah. So with that said, I am going to do hunting, and I am also going to buy forestry. So my hunter here, I'm going to set up, I'm eventually going to move him later on, but let's take a look quickly at appeal. I want to put the hunter where it is not appealing for someone to live. So I am going to put the hunter here because it covers basically all the deer around, and it is the least disruptive, maybe even here. And it's not very disruptive to the trees. I want to be able to cut down as many trees as I can. So if I open up appeal again, maybe there. Somewhere over here where it's not appealing to live. So I'll put it there. Well, let me rotate it. If you destroy it, you get it back. It's just that there's some of the roads that it puts down. So I'll plop it right there. And set it up with a dirt road. People do need to live somewhat close to their place of employment. I'm not going to put the forester down yet because there's plenty of trees for me to cut down. So let me unpause the game for the first time. And it's going to give me an option of a starting card. So I can start with wheat seeds to grow beer, trading post, or investment. So for every 20 gold I own, I make 1 extra gold for a maximum of 100. I am going to go for investment, even though wheat sounds really good. I don't have a lot of farmland available to me initially. I'm also going to turn on the guide here as well. So for investment, if I want to use this card, I have to open up my town hall, just click on the town hall, and click the investment card, and it puts in there. If I want to get rid of it, all I do is left click it again, and it gets rid of it. I can sell the card itself for 300 gold, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can get other new ones at any point. All right, and then let's go through the tutorial. I'm going to gather trees. So there are 2 different ways to cut down trees. There is the gather wood, regardless of whether it's a fruiting tree or not, or cut only non-fruit trees. And I'm going to do the only non-fruit trees, and I'm actually going to zoom out and trigger all the trees in my territory. And that's all I'm going to do for now. I am not going to do the claim territory. Now here is the biome bonus. This is what I was telling you. We have a biome bonus that lasts with us. It's a permanent bonus to our city forever. And I'm going to have you vote on which one I go for. So we have the winter fishing or the winter resistance. So winter fishing gives us more productive fisheries when we are in boreal or tundra tiles, and winter resistance is wood and coal gives more heat, so we have to use less of it to heat our homes. If you vote for winter fishing, I'm quite likely to try to expand towards bodies of water so that I can gain access to I can get access to things to fish. So I would expand this way, where there's rivers and the like. And if you vote for winter heating, I'm not necessarily going to push for fish. But the choice is yours. And I'm going to leave this up for just one more minute while I have myself some coffee. Here, Yoda, you want a treat? Want a treat? Tusk, you want a treat? Come here. Tusky. Tusk. There you go. All right, looks like Winter Resistance wins by a landslide, a 2-to-1 ratio. So Winter Resistance it is. So then if I click my town here, town bonuses. Wood and coal gives 30% more heat. Great. The next part of the tutorial tells me to claim territory. I am going to... So I can't claim the cannabis territory immediately because I have no way to walk there because there's a impassable mountain between us. So I would have to claim this tundra province just to my north in order to get there. And this tundra province doesn't really have any fertility. There's really no benefit to have it. So let me analyze this real quick. Claiming this tundra province here would give me some space to build homes. And if I open up the appeal, yeah, I could build some homes there. So I think that's what I'm going to do for now and save my money. So we're going to just do the sort of bare minimum claim, adding this area here. So as you can see, my total size has now grown, and it is a permanent benefit. And now it wants me to build homes, and I am going to build... Keep in mind, this hunting lodge is probably not going to be permanently there. I'm going to build 5 homes. I don't need to use cards for this. This is sort of a universal thing. Anyone can build homes. And I'm going to set up as many homes in the appealing parts as possible. I'm going to lay them out a little bit better. 1, 2. I'm going to mine this stone before I build there. So I'm going to start with 3 homes, and let's gather the stone in this location. Hey, dragon. How are you doing? Give more puppies treats. Sure thing. Here, you can watch Yoda eat it. Just little peanuts. So now, everybody currently, no one is employed because there's no places of employment. So everybody is either a laborer or a builder. Now, we did start with some wood. So what we're going to do here is use some of this wood to immediately build housing. And then everybody else is going to go and cut down trees. This game is not that much like Banished. It is more like Anno, one of the Anno series. Maybe Anno 14 whatever it was. Something like that. Yeah, the visual style might be a little similar, but the gameplay not so much. Another thing I want to think about is where I want to put a forestry. So if you take a look at a forestry, it has a pretty wide radius, and I probably want to put a forestry around here where it can regrow as many trees as possible, meaning that I'm going to be interested in acquiring this province sooner or later. It costs me 1,468, and I don't have that currently. But because I have just built my first home, we do have access to research. So I'm going to explain research right now. There are 2 types of research trees. I only have access to the first one. The second type of research tree gives me cards, and I'll get into that once we access it. But I have a choice here between foreign trade. So foreign trade allows me to unlock trading posts, trading ports, and increase the number of immigrants by 20%, or basic medicine, which unlocks my ability to farm for medicinal herbs so that I can heal people. Now, one of the things to note, in this starting biome here, the disease frequency is about 1 per year. if you were to settle jungles, where is a jungle? 3 per year. So the disease frequency goes up depending on the biome that you're in. Most places are 1 per year, but the jungles have more diseases as a result, meaning that farming for medicine is going to be more important. So I'll give you the choice between those 2 techs, and we're going to be getting a lot of technologies, so this is something that's going to happen a lot. But here we go. Born, trade, and basic medicine. So where does my science points come from, you wonder? These science points come from housing. When the needs of houses are fulfilled, they give me income and science. So right now I have 3 science, which is the base benefit for a house. When this house has fuel and luxuries, it will level up to higher level housing. I don't build the houses at higher level. They just naturally unlock when they have resources that they want made available to them. So that's something that's pretty important to note. Also, my technology I will acquire technology whether I have something queued up or not. So as you can see, my tech is building up here in the top right. It does not require me to spend it immediately. So the tutorial is telling me to build 5 houses. I will eventually get around to building 5 houses. You can think of the science as just like cultural science, not necessarily like them being scientists. But yeah, that's how technology works. So we have 3 homes. So now I have a tech base of 9, and here it is represented at 9. And this will be home number 4, and then we will have home number 5. And that fulfills the build 5 housing. Now, 5 houses might not be enough to actually house everybody in the settlement, so I have to make sure not to have too much homelessness or people will, like, leave or die. Dennis, Keith, thanks for the gifted subs. You guys are real kind today. I mean, you always are. I'd like to argue I got the best crowd. Another benefit of these homes, they do provide income based upon their base and appeal. So all of these homes are appealing, and they're providing 7.1 or 2 gold each. And there are some things later on in the tech tree that you can do to benefit appeal, but they're not in this unlock. They're in a different unlock. Thank you, gifters. Cheers to all of you. X42BN6, I missed your resub too. You are almost 2 years subscribed. Zalek, I missed yours as well. And JD, your community gift. Cheers to all of you. Sorry, I overlooked that. So we have our first place of employment. I'm going to pause for a second. And if you take a look here, employed is 2. The 2 that are employed are in the hunting lodge. So the hunting lodge has 2 benefits. There is the upgraded smoking chamber, which increases the productivity, which I'm going to get. And then there's fruit bait. I don't have an adjacent fruit gatherer, so I'm not going to bother getting fruit bait. Some buildings have synergy with other buildings, so the hunting lodge has synergy with fruit gatherers, but because there's really not a lot of fruit to gather here, there's like 3 orange trees or something, I'm not going to bother with that anytime soon. Another thing I wanted to point out, I have this little leader bonus here called, this one is speed boost. There is cast points, but basically what happens is every time I get about 60 SP, I can click on some places of employment to speed boost its productivity. So I'm going to cast speed boost on the lodge, and now as you can see, the lodge here is efficient, 130% efficient, and will be quickly producing meat as a result of this speed boost. So there we go. All right, let's continue building those houses. I also want to collect all this stone. So another thing I'm going to do with the stone is I'm going to upgrade all of my starting homes with stone insulation, which lets wood and coal provide more heat, meaning that I will have to burn fewer logs in the winter to keep them heated. And right now, these homes here, like this house has 11 wood in it, this house has 10, this house has 11. They add fuel to their homes in order to keep it warm. Eventually, once I get this province here, I will be able to mine coal, and that will reduce my dependency on wood for housing, which allows me to focus on furniture, which is one of the 3 tier 1 benefits that you all suggested that I take. It's been 150 seconds, so in 1 second here, I'm about to get a new card. I can also spend gold to unlock cards sooner if I so wish. So here's the new ones. I have quarry, fruit gatherer, fishing, tavern, pig ranch. I think I'm gonna re-roll these for free. The reason being, I don't have an immediate need for stone, so quarry is not that important, but it's 140 gold, so let's not do that. Fruit gathering, yeah, I'm in a tundra. There's not fruit. I have no access to water just yet. Pig ranching would be fine, but pig ranching doesn't really yield pigs quickly because they need to procreate for it to yield. So that's a long-term investment, and right now I'm about short-term investments. Tavern is great, except for, like, people are happy already, so whatever. Rerolling it, it gives me charcoal burner, which burns wood into coal, which provides twice the heat when heating housing, hunting lodge again, or mushroom farm. So mushroom farm allows you to farm mushrooms, inputting wood into them. I'm a little tempted to get the... Oh boy. I'm gonna go for tavern and mushroom farm. Mooney, thanks for the resub. And Lamada, thanks for the follow. So the mushroom farm I can place anywhere. It doesn't really matter where I place it, just as long as it's not like somewhere important. And then the tavern has a physical radius benefit around the housing it services, and it also goes off the appeal engine. So the more appealing a spot is, the better the tavern will operate. One of the things I'm going to want to do probably pretty early is get these storage yards here and move them far away from where I think I'm going to build homes. So one thing I could do is like a dirt road here, like this, and then I can put my storage yards. I can put nice chonky storage yards here because this terrain in this spot here is functionally worthless. It's low appeal. It can't really grow anything. It has no fertility, so we'll make that storage yards. Whereas up here, there is appeal, so it would be better if I put my homes there. Someone had request to move the right bottom house down a space for a road. Yes, that's what I should do anyway. I completely agree with that. So, fixed. Because we're also city planning, we have to make sure that we are laying things out in a way that makes sense. So now we have 4 of 5 homes. This will be the last one. The mushroom farm. So let's figure out the mushroom farm. I'm probably going to be putting the tavern... Let's zoom out. I'm probably going to be putting the tavern maybe here, because it has a pretty decent amount of coverage. Now, the only issue is this whole section of the tundra is of very low appeal. But yeah, I'll be putting it here once the stone is pulled. And then that means if I open up appeal again, mushroom farming, I might throw sort of over here where it's not going to take up terrain that anyone really cares about. But it's not so far from the center of town that it's a long trek. Give puppies a treat. Hey, Tusky, you want a treat? She just left. Hi, there you go. Treat! We'll see. We'll see if they want one. So here you can see my little simulated, oh, Daniel. Throwing them spears and turning them into leather and meat. Hop on up, Tusk. There you go. So we're resource gathering. And once these storage yards, which are much larger than the previous storage yards, are built, I will destroy these and free up the terrain. Hey, remember to chew. No choking. You're suddenly hankering for mushroom now. All right, so there's a few people that are still unemployed, and I'm gonna homeless rather. I'm gonna want to get homes for them ASAP. All right, so here's that storage yard is complete. And now I'm going to destroy these storage yards so that I can open up the terrain for building. And we're almost done harvesting all, or mining all that stone so we can build our tavern around here. Maybe on further analysis, build the tavern up top this way, because it looks like there's nicer, more appealing places to live around the edge of this mountain here instead. So I'll be building the tavern up, not down, and probably left, not right, because I don't think any of our homes are going to want to go further this way because it's just bare tundra. So I'm going to put manufacturing facilities where it does not matter how nice it is or resources or anything. I'll put them that way. So tavern there. So I have completed the 5 homes. Here's the 5th home. And it wants me to upgrade the town hall. Upgrading the town hall would allow me to sell food, buy wood, and snatch gold from my competitors. It would also open up another card slot, I think, for benefits. And here's some new cards. I'm gonna re-roll that. Pig Ranch. Pig ranches are huge. But I do have a lot of open tundra. So I'm gonna buy a pig ranch. And I can place the pig ranch like here or something. Maybe there. That's a pretty good spot. There's a little bit of appeal down there, but like not much. Then another thing I'm going to want to do is cut these trees. And let's have everyone focus on those trees there, where the pig ranch is. Get these trees out of the way, and then get the stone out of the way, so that we can drop a ranch there. The piggies are not bothered by the cold somehow, yeah. They're tough. Very tough piggies. And we are generating per season about 280 leather, or 280 meat and 137 leather. So you can sort of see what the productivity benefits are. Also to note that there's fewer red deer around in my territory, so it is sort of a finite amount. Yeah, we have woolly piggies. Now, the tutorial wants me to upgrade my town hall, but though I don't think that that's actually... That would be okay. But I'm going to wait to do it until it benefits me best. Joey, thanks for the resub. Seems like a fun game. You hadn't seen it? Yeah, this game has definitely flown well under the radar of most people. So I still have a few homeless people. I am going to continue to house them. Here's a homeless person, and they will leave for better horizons if you don't house them. I also have access to a new card. I'm very low on wood. Okay, I've just unlocked the priority button. And this is warning me that my storage is too far. So storage is too far means that I'm going to need to put some storage yards closer to the mushroom farm in order for it to operate properly. So there is my pig ranch. And I'm going to upgrade the mushroom farm for intensive care for higher productivity using stone. Because I need to feed people. That is pretty much the top priority. All right, now back to cutting down all non-fruit trees. Everywhere, basically everywhere. I will start foresting eventually. I just have a lot of trees available to me, so I don't need to build it quite yet. Yeah, this game has had a very large recent update. Which is why I returned to it. I actually played it a while ago, and I didn't think it was quite ready for showtime. But now, here we are. Okay, so this house is 3 out of 4 filled, which means I have 1 spare spot. We do, however, have our tavern. So, here's the tavern. There is a... Oh, and the research that you all said. So, you said basic medicine. So basic medicine is almost done. Well, not almost done. But next up, next tech, we'll have trade. I'm just going to call it trade, sheep ranch, or mushroom bonus. I'll just truncate it. So the sheep ranch is rearing sheep for wool and food. And the mushroom log sterilization is decrease the mushroom farm's wood consumption by 50%. I do have some cards here, so let's go for another forester. And then this card here will go for... nothing yet. I don't have to pick it. We can have our cards stack up. It's not a problem. So I'm looking where, instead of spending the 500 gold to upgrade our town hall, where the next best terrain expansion might be. We could expand into this mountain here for 426 gold, but that doesn't really benefit me that much right now. This province here is a bit too expensive. I think what we might try to do is to get an abundance of food and upgrade our town hall so that we can sell food for money. Or alternatively, if you vote on trade, I can do that without even doing that. I'll explain. But if we upgraded our Yoda Town, it would give us some cards that we could buy called Buy Wood or Sell Food. And Buy Wood spends half your gold to buy wood, and Sell Food sells half your food for market value. So the pig ranches get built. And if we mouse over our coins, our town hall income is 10. Our investment profit is 35. Our building upkeep is 25. Our territory income is 21. And our territory upkeep is 10.5. Food does not spoil, no. There is no concept of food spoiling. So here's our pig ranch. And as you can see, we have 3 animals in it. There's 3 choices here. We can kill when it's full, kill when it's half, or kill all now. I'm gonna let them go to full capacity, and then if I ever have a food shortage, I can always just call them for food and leather. Oh, a caravan has arrived. They wish to buy any goods you might have. Trade. So let's pause a second and take a quick look. I can sell up to 80 things to them. What I'm going to do is try to make the most amount of money I can by selling my tools. I'm selling half of my steel tools for 1638. It's risky, but it gives me a lot of gold in order to power play. So now my gold is 2402, and that gives me the ability to expand dramatically. I'm going to expand into this boreal forest province. I unlocked bridge because now I have a source of water, and I unlocked iron mine, and it asks me if I want to buy an iron mine, and I will say yes. I still have 700 left over after selling my tools, so I could upgrade the town hall right now if I so felt like. I will. All right, so with the town hall upgraded, I have two choices here. I can gold rush, additional productivity to gold, mines, and oil rigs. Gold and oil are very late game resources that we might not even see the benefit to this stream, and pine foresting we'll see immediate benefits to. Looks like trade is our next tech, so I'll do trade next. So, choose between gold or pine. It's up to you, but I can't really play until we choose. Well, I can, but it's just in the way. Whether it's gold or pine. Alright, looks like pine's going to be the bonus. So now, the town hall's level 2. I have new cards to pick from, which is sell food, buy food, and snatch. So let's take a look. For here, I'm going to buy the fishing lodges, both of them, and the immigration office. Spend big. For this, so here's the buy wood card. And here's the sell food card. I'm going to buy the sell food card when I can afford it. Currently, I cannot because I just bought some other cards. So here's what I'm going to do. I would like to start fishing down here. And let's get foreign trade. And unlock medicinal herbs. So now I know how to build a farm. As you can see, there are... there's a sliver here. All right, so I'm going to cut down these trees here to build a medicinal herb farm. And I'm going to extend this road up and over. It's probably more prudent to save food now since it's mid-autumn. Yes, I'm not planning on selling my food just yet. But that's exactly why I went for fishing. So fishing efficiency is based upon how much of the tiles around it are exposed to water. So I'm going to put one fishery here. And as you can see, the house is too far. And then we don't want these blue circles to overlap. I'm going to put the other fishery, and it will have lower efficiency. Actually, you know what? Screw that. I'll just put it way out here for high efficiency. There. Now it's going to warn me that the house is too far, and I'm going to remedy that. Let's maybe... I'll think about the road. Let me hide trees and bushes. All right, this road comes down. Maybe diagonal. Out to this spot. And then there. And then here, it will go across and diagonal to there. I can always move the roads if need be. So it does want housing to be a little bit closer. And another thing that it's going to want is a storage yard nearby. So I'm going to put a 4-unit storage yard there and a 4-unit storage yard there. And then if we switch over to housing, as you can see, there's plenty of appeal to live in this area. So I'm going to have like a second little hamlet. Ooh, I should raise that road a little bit. So let it run through the hamlet. So let me do that. So here is a appeal of 95% is probably good enough. I will build 2 houses down here, and eventually we will plan on giving these housing. Oops, let's make that better. We'll give these houses, you know, the tavern and all the other benefits that the other houses has. And it's warning me that my labor account is now 0, meaning that I should attract some new people. So let's go ahead and do that. This is an immigration office, which helps to attract new inhabitants. And I'm going to stick it here, just sort of out of the way, because no one really needs to travel here, and I don't want it to take up important room. Is this going on YouTube? It sure will. I should have put that in the about. My bad. And a posture check. The other thing I wanted to do is to set up a forester. As long as I have trees to cut down that are naturally occurring in the biome, I don't need to worry about it just yet. But that would be a very good thing for me to focus on going forward, is to work on forestry. It would also allow the people that are foresters they would be like full-time foresters. You know, meaning that it wouldn't take laborers, that, you know, we'd have people. So forestry allows you to cut specific trees, whether it's all trees, fruit trees or non-fruit trees, and then plant whatever type of tree you want, or don't plant at all. You have all those options. All right, I will buy a snatch card next, once I have the money for it. Yoda streamer cam. Hey, Shona. Welcome to the stream. Two fishing lodges. And here's a little indicator that someone is cold. I don't have a lot of wood right now. So people are having a little bit of a harder time heating their own homes, which is kind of normal for your first winter. And also the fact that I have a mushroom farm, mushrooms consume a bunch of wood, which again makes it harder. So some of these homes here, actually just this home doesn't have wood, but everyone else is cold just because they're cold. This is cold out. It's negative 22, so it's ridiculously cold. Well, 22 Celsius. There's still things that are huntable at this hunting lodge, but there's actually not much of a penalty for me to move around my hunting lodge. So once these houses get built, I'm probably going to move the hunting lodge down here because there's a lot of deer down there, and where the hunting lodge is now, there's like a little boar, and that's it. Johnny just died from cold. Sorry, Johnny, not doing you justice. And Kylie, because my fuel reserves are low. And Freya. Yeah, everybody's cold. And the town, much like Frostpunk, because you have me in a boreal forest, they will suffer a little bit on first winter. We'll aim to try to benefit them. So here's the snatch cards that I'll buy. And the way snatch works, steal gold equal to the amount of the player's population times 5. No, we're not going to go cannibalism. Go away. So players' population times 5, obviously it's best used hitting populous cities. So Borghild's at 23. Hostain's at 27. So I'm going to, well, before I snatch, he does have gold. So I'm going to snatch Hostain's. So for a 50 gold card, I stole 135 from Hostain. No regrets. So the issues I'm having right now is I basically just ran out of wood. I don't have enough wood to heat people's houses, which is why they're dropping dead. We will try to remedy this as soon as the winter's over. I'm going to aim to try to grab the coal deposits here so that we can mine coal directly and not have to convert wood into fuel. Yeah, it doesn't really help that I started to expand for building right at the peak winter here. In fact, does that refund? Yeah, it refunds me, I think. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it was bad timing that I chose to expand when I did. We are basically just cosplaying or role-playing Frostpunk now. Come on, winter. It's late. Late winter. Get warmer. Everybody's dying. Okay, so these are fully funded. And this is nearly fully funded, so I think it's going to stop drawing. I'm going to buy another food card, and I'll buy a wood card and spend my wood card. And that was at like exorbitant pricing, but at least that will heat like a home or two. And I'll try to aim for that not to happen again. We just really bottomed out on wood in peak winter. But now it's early spring and it's warmer. So as soon as it goes above 0 Celsius, we stop using so much wood. I can hide the pole, yeah. Sorry. All right, let's put the fishing lodge back. Oh, there's bears down here, I think. Nope, that's not a bear. All right, I'm going to sell half my food and buy the first impression bonus to the immigration office. Now that my pop dropped dramatically, I'm going to need to draw in as many people as I can to my community to replace some that didn't make it. New card. I'll do Snatch again. Husting, guess what? I am going to make you not like me. Check if you have gold first. You do. Yoink. Yoinked is gold. Of course, if this is multiplayer, you can imagine that there is a PvP aspect to yoinking people's resources like that. Sorry, I killed everyone. Wow, we have a lot of pigs, though. They survived. Pigs did well. I did not. So to buy the coal, I need 916. Got it. That is the number to the beat. Probably the first PvP city builder. Yeah, it's a little strange. You can actually... Well, there's a variety of different ways that you can mess with other cities. Oh, it didn't give me a snatch card. That's unfortunate. But a lot of that, a lot of the ways to subvert other cities get unlocked later on. I think what I'll do is shut down my mushroom farm to save myself some wood. Focusing more on hunting and hopefully building the fish lodges. And I am going to prioritize building this fish lodge. I guess it really doesn't matter which. But I'm going to pause building the housing here because we have available housing now. That is not a limitation that we have. Is this game ready to buy? Yeah, I'd say so. It is release ready. It's more fun multiplayer. I would say the AI is a little basic, and they've acknowledged that, and they're going to be working on improving the AI, in the future. What I'm going to do is slaughter all of these pig ranches for an economic reason, which will be made apparent soon. Here's another snatch. All right, guess what? Hostain, you're doing so well for yourself. And you're super, super bankrupt, so not going to steal from you. Borghild is at... Okay, Borghild is tied with the other place, so let's steal from them. So the reason I'm slaughtering all my pigs is once I slaughter all the pigs, I am going to sell half my food and make a whole bunch of money to try to fund my ability to get the charcoal. We do have some immigrants slowly trickling in, but it is slow. Suffering like I did first season was harsh. I didn't steal too much from them. I stole like a tiny fraction of what their bankruptcy was. All right, we just unlocked the Statistics Bureau. I'm not going to bother sending a farmer to the medicinal herb farm yet, so I'm going to turn that off for now. Because we have plenty of medicine on us. Thank you for tuning in to Kingdoms Reborn, which originally aired live on Twitch. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch live streams of mine, Rhadamant.com has my countdown timers and links to Twitch and Discord. Thank you so very much for watching. I will catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.